What is up, and welcome in to the Easy Smoke and the GM podcast. I am your host, Ezra McCann, and I'm joined, as always, by my outstanding co-hosts. He's a Chicago Public League legend. He's a Simeon Wolverine legend. He's a Grambling State legend. He played second base for the Tigers. Back in the day, he was all SWAC. He is none other than Brandon Williams, a.k.a. Coach Smoke. And we've got our NFL, you know what, I'm not even going to call you a draft expert or analyst, just NFL, just all around football expert on the show. He is Glenn Morgan. He is our GM. Gentlemen, what's going on? How you guys doing?
All right.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Glenn,
You
you're on mute,
muted,
buddy.
Chin. You muted.
Rookie move.
Man.
No, I was just saying we got swept bowling today, man. It was a rough one. And anytime I got the highest average and it's not Brandon, or the highest series, it's not Brandon, it's probably not a good day for our bowling team.
Wait, was Brandon in attendance?
Physically.
Oh, wow.
His game wasn't that over.
I'm gonna have to have a conversation with Brandon tomorrow when I see him.
Please do. Yeah.
By the way, Brandon is like basically a professional bowler.
Pretty much.
And yeah, I guess he didn't show up today. All right, we got to.
Yeah, it was rough. The family Willis, him and his dad, it was tough. Tough.
I'm not gonna talk about Pops, man. You know,
well, we all do.
I've met him. I ain't messing with him, man. That's my guy right there. So yeah, we are officially finished with the preseason schedule. Since the last time we talked, the Bears put a thumping on the Buffalo Bills second and third team.
Right.
And then went to Kansas City, and things got ugly in the first quarter. And
the ones got smacked around.
Yeah. And then number 15 sat down, and Bears were able to come out with a victory. So yeah, we put a smiling face on what could have been a rough Friday night for the Bears. It for me, it brought up memories. Remember when the Bears went to Kansas City 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Got smoked by them with Justin Fields at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
It was getting that way early on, and
it looked very much like the same game.
It did.
Yeah. And luckily, like I said, Mr. Mahomes was able to, enjoy the rest of his night on the bench, and
made for a much better night on their defense.
yeah, all of them.
Yes, I mean, yeah.
The first team defense sat down, and the Bears were able to actually move the ball. So, how concerning is that? Like it's preseason. How concerning is that the offense really couldn't, or really both sides of the ball couldn't really do much against a top tier team?
It's not concerning necessarily. I mean, we didn't, honestly speaking, did we really think they would be on the level of a Kansas City?
No, but you shouldn't be down. You shouldn't be down 17-0 right out the gate. And I mean, it happened quick.
Yeah, that's true.
They've been at the better teams though. They've been at the playoff teams.
Yeah, I mean,
they score in bunches.
It happens. It was the Chiefs. So nothing that happens when it comes to the Chiefs, when it comes to that type of outcome, surprises me. Them coming out, jumping out on a 17-0. I wasn't surprised at that. I was a little surprised on the offensive side of the ball. It did give some feels of what we've seen. I mean, I didn't think the line played particularly bad. I don't think they played great. And I felt we saw Caleb start holding on to the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like the first week I was like, okay, everything looks on time. Like he's getting the ball out. He's not trying to do too much. And then now you get a physical pass rush the Chiefs have. And to me, I felt the line held up as best as they could versus that line, that D line. And I felt he was holding on to the ball at times too long.
Yeah. Concerning. That was your question. No, yes, no, and maybe, but not really so.
Yeah.
And all that's because it's preseason. However, when you're looking for things in preseason, the wins and losses, obviously, we don't care about that. You're looking to see how players are fitting in with whatever new schemes, how the new players are fitting in with their teammates, all those things. I will say this: offensive line, I think when it comes to pass protection, I think they'll be very good. And very good compared to what we've had is like almost light years away. So it looks like there's a pocket that these men can stand in and step up and make a pass. That's great. I thought the run blocking wasn't as good as it has been, and that may be these guys acclimating to the schemes that are being asked when it comes to run blocking. It's not like what it was the past several years where the Bears were pretty good at run blocking and were horrible at pass blocking.
Mm-hmm.
I think the run blocking thing, I think that'll come along. I'm not enamored with our running back crew. I'm not hating on them. I'm just not in love with them. I think it's pedestrian with a slight arrow pointing up potentially, and up is not really far. It's just I don't think we're getting a lot of explosive plays from our running game. I think our running game will be the one that'll be just enough so that we can keep the dogs off of the quarterbacks when they want to pass. Although I think once they figure out how to utilize their running backs, it may be more of a tell. It looks like Britton Brown. I like the way he runs inside. He seems like he's the best inside runner right now. I think Swift is more of a perimeter guy. You're going to have to utilize him that way. I still think that Luther Burden, I think Luther's going to be used in a running game too. I think he's going to be used kind of like Deebo Samuel in a lot of ways. So maybe 5 to 7 touches, maybe, coming from the backfield type kind of deal on a high usage day. But again, he's got to get acclimated to and learn the system, all that kind of stuff. The defense was a little more concerning because that's the area where we're not supposed to be that worried. I'm not saying because they look bad against the Chiefs. There were certain things that said, oh, this is where we're going to be exposed. Cornerback is going to be a bit of an issue now, especially until Jalen gets back. It's going to be a bit of an issue. Those guys are going to get a lot of they're very aggressive and hands-on, and because Dennis Allen's system, his defensive system, puts the corners on the island at times, or a lot is on them to stay with their man. There's probably going to be a lot of PI calls. I see that the first 3-4 weeks until these guys until the rush gets better, because the rush isn't where it needs to be. The cornerbacks are going to be exposed a little bit more. The linebackers, if there's some good tight ends and some good running backs, the linebackers are going to be busy and chasing a lot. I think we'll be okay, but top 10 defense, it won't look like that. It won't look like that early on.
Well, Grady Jackson didn't play.
Grady Jarrett.
Jared. Trey Edmonds didn't play. Jalen Johnson wasn't there.
But that's kind of what
Nahshon Wright kind of got exposed.
Yeah.
If you can say that. And he's supposed to be, they said that he was going to be giving Stevenson a run for his money in this game, which I guess, overall he played pretty well, but in the Kansas City game, for sure, he got a little bit picked on
right.
by the Chiefs. So that was, so I wasn't.
Well, here's the thing.
I wasn't too upset with how the defense played. I think that's going to get better. You better find a pass rush though, quickly.
But that's what I'm saying. Am I upset? No. Am I overall worried? No. It's concerning starting out because going to have supposedly, if everything being kind of equal, the defense was supposed to be a little bit ahead of where the offense is because these guys have played together. And Caleb is still learning a new system, blah, blah, blah. So being able to lean on the defense may not be able to lean on them as much as initially thought because of some of these exposed areas. Now, granted, the Chiefs can make a lot of people look bad. I understand that. And Mahomes can make a lot of folks look bad. I will say this about the Chiefs. I fully expect them to be at least be in the AFC Championship game again. That team looks fortified. I mean, the offensive line, I'm not saying because the Bears didn't get through. I'm just looking at who they have blocking. Josh Simmons on the left side is going to be probably there for like the next 10 years. They're good on the interior. Their receiving core, they've got everything. They've got a little height now. They got more speed. They got the pass reception. Rasheed Rice seems like he's back healthy. The running crew, their running complement with Pacheco, Hunt. I'm telling you, the young man out of SMU, the rookie running back, his name just escaped me right now, Smith. I kind of want someone I wanted the Bears to target. They can do so many different things now. Tight end might be the only position where they don't seem to be as dynamic because Kelsey may not have the speed that he used to. But just like Grunt proved, you know how to get open, you get open. And their defense looks solid. They're going to be a problem. So the Bears playing, let's not take a lot into how good or poorly the Bears look because they're playing a team that basically said, hey, we're tuning up for the regular season. That's why you saw Mahomes out there a little bit longer than you may have expected. The Bears, I'm only concerned, and I know I made it just real long. I apologize. I'm only concerned because who the Bears have to play. There's not going to be a lot of room to breathe in terms of figuring it out. It's the early parts, probably the first 4 to 5 games are probably the easiest stretch you'll have. I mean, there's some other games here interspersed that you should win, like the Saints game, maybe the Browns. But that's in between a whole bunch of other really good teams. This first 4 games is going to be tough, man. Minnesota, not going to be easy starting out, especially if we don't have Jalen Johnson. Justin Jefferson is going to be an issue. Now, they don't have Addison because Addison is on suspension, but they still got Hawkinson. They still got the other Naylor. They still have some really good pass receivers. Offensive line is one of the best in the league. Defense is one of the better defenses in the league. So that's an issue. If the Bears come out flat like they did, that's an issue. This is the first game on the road with this contingent. So, and that's something that Coach Johnson talked about. Like, I want to see what we look like we're on the road. Didn't look really good because they started out kind of flat.
Started off extremely flat, started
Right.
off slow. And yeah, that's something that needs to be dealt with. And I like the fact that, the Bears get the win, last second victory. And the first thing that Ben Johnson said is, hey, we can't start like, he showed that they need to improve quickly. He wasn't worried about, it's great we got the win, but
Yeah.
our first team didn't show up today, and that's a problem. That's a real problem.
Special teams took a dink too. I mean, blocked extra point. Cairo missed a makeable field goal for him. Yeah, you see, it's sometimes it's like hell, about this being a baseball guy. Sometimes one person gets in a slump, it gets contagious. Everybody starts slumping, and it just looked like the Bears they're just a bit of a slump, a little bit of a I don't know, just a malaise to some degree. Now, I will say this to their credit, they fought as a team, so that part still looked good. Collectively they kept playing. Caleb had one really good drive. I don't know if the defense for Kansas City pulled off or not. I don't know. I don't care. But because you started so badly, the fact that he stuck with it, he made some pretty good passes. Dunze, I don't want to say redeemed himself, but I thought Dunze played really well. He was the best defender that the Bears had in the secondary. Because
that one ball was going right to the guy.
Yes, that was a hell of a defensive play. I mean, that was picture perfect. And that's kind of thing too with Caleb. I wanted to say that real quick. With Caleb, he's still not seeing everything at the same speed that it's happening. He's still a little delayed, forcing kind of space right now. He's not quite as comfortable as he's going to be. That being said, okay. Full disclosure, I'm not worried about this team this year because I'm not expecting anything but this to be a learning season for everybody this year. See who's going to be your core people, who you're going to retain, see what else you might need. Be good enough and attractive enough to other free agents out there that this becomes a destination place. to some degree. Like some teams want to go to Washington now. Some teams are looking at Detroit. Some teams, people always be looking at KC for a while. I feel very good about where this team, this organization is going forward. I've said before that in this division between the GM and the head coach and the quarterback, we're younger than everybody else's combination of those same three entities that I just mentioned. It's still real young with the head coaches and the GMs. I think Gutekunst for the Packers is the oldest at 52. Still real young. But a lot of these other guys are in their 40s, and Ben Johnson's 39. I think he'll be 40 a little bit later on. But we're young everywhere. So I think this is going to be a strong division going forward. I don't think anybody's going anywhere time soon. And I feel good about where we're going, so much so that the Bears can set themselves in a situation where it can be sustainable. It can look like how the Eagles are looking. It can look like how the Chiefs are looking. It can look like how the Ravens and the Steelers are looking. It can look like an organization that knows who they are, what they're doing, where they're going. And, nothing's guaranteed, obviously, but this looks so much better. This is looking very much like Jim Finks. And this is before your time, B, but it's very much like Jim Finks with the Bears in the early mid 80s. And, he ended up passing away. And so that probably expedited the Bears situation in terms of them not being to retain the type of talent they got. But the Bears were set in motion. And what's different is that unlike with Ditka, what coaches under Ditka ever did anything? I don't think he was a coaching tree by any form or fashion. Right.
Once
I'm talking
Buddy,
tree. Yeah.
I'm saying, yeah.
But the Buddy was here before here, so
Buddy,
that's not part of his coaching tree.
Right.
Nobody under him did anything. No. Right. Same thing with Lovey outside of,
Daniel Abramowitz.
Yeah. Okay.
He got an OC jobs
no. When you're a part of a tree, you're getting head coaching jobs. That's what I'm saying.
I'm like, I've never heard that name before.
Abramowitz, he was a Saints head coach, right?
Coaching tree, bro. You talk about an anomaly that might have had a coaching job for a year. That's what I'm saying,
man. I'm trying.
You look at Dungy, coaching tree. You look at Belichick.
I got what you're saying, man.
Right. You look at Mike Holmgren, coaching tree. You look at Bill Walsh, coaching tree. You look at what Andy Reid's been doing with since he's been with the Chiefs. You look at the Steelers. You have an opportunity here where I think the Bears have a head coach that is not only developing players, but coaches are coming through and good coaching is coming through. And then those guys are learning. And you build something that's sustainable that even if he leaves, it can still continue. You look at the Packers, man. I mean, dude, 30 some odd years, these guys have been basically playoff caliber team. That's from Holmgren, man. That's whatever he did and established that in the GM they had at that time, that stuff is a Wolf, I think. That stuff is still paying dividends, 2-3 decades later. So the Bears, I think, are in a situation where they can move in that direction. It's not going to happen this year, but you'll see it grow in increments. And I think that's where we're going. So overall, I feel good about it. That was a long ass answer. My bad.
No, you're fine. Actually, you brought up something. This Mike Ditka coaching tree. Wait, I'm looking it up here.
Yeah, I don't even think there's any roots, let alone any branches from that one.
No.
Greg
Landry.
Stop. He was a better quarterback. He was a better quarterback with the Lions. Stop.
By the way, his last season was 84. I saw a picture. Oh, Greg Landry was he was a older looking guy in his final season with the Bears.
Yes.
Does Ron Rivera count?
Somewhat, yeah. But that's Lovie Smith-ish. And Lovie didn't retain him. So it's almost like it's not like he left because he got the job. So Lovie was like, I don't want you back. So it's like
Jeff Fisher. Is that Dick or Buddy Ryan?
Yes. Yes. I'm almost gonna say it's more Buddy Ryan. He was a player in the Fisher, but it's more Buddy Ryan.
Okay.
Hell,
Sean Payton.
What? Was a half quarterback?
He was a spare bear.
But he wasn't a coach.
I tried, man.
I tried.
Okay. All right. I give up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and so same thing with Lovey. It wasn't sustainable. It's look at those teams that I mentioned, man, and you'll see that not only quarterbacks, but the coaches that have been cycled through have come through and gone on to get head coaching job or jobs.
Mhm.
And that makes a difference. That lets you know you're doing the right thing on something. And I think Ben Johnson has that type of accountability. I think he is a person who, I'm not going to say he's an educator. I don't know his background in terms of that, but he seems like a person that, it's about learning and teaching and executing, not just about do what I told you to do.
I,
He gives reasons why.
I just hope, like all that you said, it sounds great, like to possibly be building for long-term success. But in today's game, everything is so now.
Right.
I'm hopeful that those on the inside in the Bears organization are thinking like you're thinking. Because when you look at these organizations outside of the Packers and what the Steelers, a lot of these organizations now that had that success, you got it instantly and it's maintained. Mahomes with the Chiefs, it was an instant pop, and now it's. I mean, he didn't play his first year,
No,
but
it was good before him. It was good before him.
yeah,
They've been to playoffs like 3 years, I think, before him.
that's true. But then with Mahomes, it was like, oh, this is
it takes a different level.
Yeah. I mean, even like the Ravens with Lamar. Yes, they were having the success before him too, but it was like instant pop. If we don't see some type of, I think, massive success from Caleb this year, whether the wins don't necessarily have to come there, but you have to see something because those questions are going to be louder.
Well, define massive.
So I mean,
what's your example of massive success? Because keep in mind, last year,
honestly,
as bad as everything was,
for me, honestly, winning is success for me. I'm not that,
sport, though,
and it's hard when it comes to that with football. If he has the numbers, everyone would say that's a massive success. But the wins got it. But I'm just gonna say numbers wise, if he have better numbers than he had last year,
but it got to look bad numbers.
But it got to look different too, man. Last year he had okay numbers, but it did not look good.
Well, yeah, the sacks probably looked the worst of his numbers, but keep in mind he had a 3-to-1 touchdown interception ratio.
Yeah,
had over 3,500 yards passes. He sets the records.
I get what you're saying, though, Smoke. It aesthetically didn't look right.
It didn't feel like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we would. It seemed like every week the numbers didn't start to come about until we were getting our asses beat. So a lot of stuff was getting in garbage time.
Yes, that's
it was like I need to see some competing from start to finish, and we just lose because we just simply not better than the team that we're playing. Like just
2 fourth quarter comebacks, man. Come on, game winning drive. Come on, baby.
Yeah. He did a lot. He proved to me he ain't gonna never quit. Yeah. He did prove that to me last year. But I felt like game didn't start until we were down.
That's true.
With him last year.
That's true. That's true.
It's like, damn, dude, take the script out. Because usually when you script the plays, that's when you had success. We had no success when you.
Well, remember they didn't have scripted plays last year.
See, that's even wilder.
Remember that? Who was the offensive coordinator last year from Seattle?
Shane Waldron.
Shane Waldron. Right. Remember Stacey Dales reported that with Shane Waldron, they didn't have a first 15, which makes no sense to me.
That's I mean,
even when I was in high school, we had a first 15.
Back in the day.
That was 30 years ago.
That can't count because it was Bill Walsh.
And we were terrible. But yeah, that makes zero sense. So maybe that's why Caleb looked the way he looked.
And that could be the case. But yeah, I just hope they don't get caught up in the naysayers and everyone. I want them to have the approach that you're saying, GM. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm saying here. I just think the way society is now, if things don't go right early on when it comes to Caleb, it's going to, it has the potential to spiral into some craziness. Like, and that's all I'm saying.
I don't discount that. Look, we've been through the civil war between Caleb and Justin, how crazy this town got, and it's a civil war. It's our own players, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yes, the fan base can be rabid at times. It can be nonsensical other times. I'll say this, and it struck me, and I was like, man, wow, and it gave me hope. The game I went to when they played the Bills, right? Caleb intentionally on a screen pass, intentionally threw the ball on the ground. Dude, the fan base automatically, everyone started clapping. I was like, that is intelligent fan base. I mean, like, it wasn't like a slow swell. Everyone like on cue was like, yes, that was a great play that you threw it, that you threw it into the ground. I was like, dude, it's a smart fan base. Like we've been the Chicago fans, Chicago fan base has been traumatized so much that a grounded screen pass is successful. And they knew that. And so my point in saying that is, I believe this looks different. To this point, a lot of people say it looks different. And it looks different because we see it not just with Caleb, we've seen it with Bajan, who we're going to talk about a little bit later on. And I think because it looks different, it feels different, and I'm more positive about it.
Well, it looked different versus the Bills. It looked the same versus the Chiefs.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Come on now, be fair. Be fair.
It looked the same versus the Chiefs. He holding the ball, terrible start. Everything right. I just said that went on last year, we didn't get rolling until we was down 17-0.
Well, we normally don't win those games.
difference being the offensive line at least did hold up there.
I felt they did.
There was one play where I think he held the ball almost 7 seconds, and Kansas City was nowhere near, but he didn't get rid of the ball. Now, part of that was there was nobody open either, but so make a decision. Take off if you got to.
So that part is where I'm like, okay, I'm super thirsty for the first game because outside all that other stuff I'm talking, what I did see, I saw Kansas City in man a lot, and we couldn't get open.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how I feel about that. I'm like, we couldn't get open, really. And I'm like, here we go again. Now, Minnesota is one that's going to blitz a lot. We know that's going to cause a lot of man coverage. Are we going to be able to get open?
Got to win battles. Got to win one-on-one battles.
So I'm like, with the Bills, they were in zone that game in the Bill, and I'm like, oh shit, everybody's fun. But I'm like, okay, now I see the difference between our offense in the zone defense versus our offense versus man to man. We couldn't get open.
Yeah, some of that's rhythm too. I'll say this, and this is where the coach comes in play. You've got to realize where your guy's struggling, and you've got to devise something to get them open and get your quarterback on track. And that's where, again, I felt it looked different against the Chiefs the other night, because at one point it's like, okay, Caleb, Mike, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, short, quick passes, got into a bit of rhythm, and then it opened up, and then they did some stuff with the running game. Swift made a couple of cutback runs, and then it opened up a little bit, and then you saw him be able to get the intermediate pass to Odunze, and Odunze made a great catch and a good run after the catch, and and then Caleb even, we're not used to seeing the quarterback throw inside the 10-yard line or 5-yard line in a curl, like where the route just sits right there, and then you gotta make the decision and throw it, And so I don't think that Caleb would have maybe thrown like the pass he did earlier when the Dunze had to play the defensive back, but once he got into a rhythm, it looked better, that last drive to score. And I think that's because the coach is like, okay, well, this isn't working. We need to do this with him. And that's the whole thing. You got to learn.
And that's why I say I'm anxious for the first game because I feel we're going to see a pretty similar style defense that we saw versus the Chiefs, and what adjustments will be made.
Yeah.
To beat man to man coverage and things like that. That's all. That's all that stood out to me is that we wasn't getting open again versus man coverage. So
Hey, sometimes you have to do this. I gotta pat myself on the back. Uh, 2 years ago, I said if I were Ryan Poles, I would lock up Tyson Bagent for a long time as your backup quarterback. You guys remember that? No.
I do.
Nobody wants to give me credit. Nobody wants to
I
give
give
me
you
credit.
credit.
Nobody wants to give me.
I give
Nobody
you
wants to give me
yes,
credit.
do I remember? No, but I believe you.
Man, that's
I
messed
believe
up,
you.
man. That's messed up. The Bears give Tyson Bagent a 2-year extension, worth $10 million with incentives. It could be up to 16 million.
He's
As
never
your
gonna make
backup.
him.
No,
He
well,
gonna
yeah,
hit the field.
you never know. You never know. But I like I said, I said 2 years ago after he came in and went two. I think he went 2-2
2-2.
for a stretch. I said, man, lock him up for 4 or 5 years. Tell him, hey, here's some money. You are solidly our backup quarterback for the next so on years. Now
Foreseeable future.
he wouldn't it probably wouldn't be smart for him to do that because if you're a competitor, you want to get the chance to become a starter. So, but they got him for 2 years here, and it's a chance for him to show, hey, if God forbid, Caleb Williams, is out for a little bit, he gets a chance to show that he can lead a team and get that Scott Mitchell or who else was another backup that made some money.
Matt Hasselbeck.
Man, yeah. Flynn up in Seattle before Matt
Right.
Flynn before
Yeah.
Russell Wilson was drafted the same offseason. But yeah, it's good for him, man. It's a good story, and yeah, I wish him nothing but the best. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's a great story. It's been a good story from the beginning up to this point. It just got better. Clearly, I think you know what? Don't play. you know, you're the backup and a system that seems to work really well. That has been proven with golf. And if you're not playing and Caleb is doing well, you're part of that system. And you've looked good in the preseason. You've got more preseason tape games than you do regular season games for the most part. The promise of you is going to be as alluring than if you played and got exposed because you played 5 games and 3 or 2 of those games you look average. Now it's like he's just average. But right now, and the Bears play, and he learned this. I don't know. He could. I mean, right now, don't play. I mean, we just talked about all those quarterbacks. Think about Brett Favre. Brett Favre was like, "Look, I ain't sitting down because I know Mike Holmgren will play these dudes behind me."
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Brooks gets traded, goes on to the Saints, gets them to the playoff games a couple of years. I forget the guy that went to Jacksonville.
Mark Brunell.
Mark Brunell.
Yeah.
He goes there, and they're a game away from going to the Super Bowl. They're a top team in the Jaguars are one of the top 5 teams several of the years that he's there. And we just talked about Matt Hasselbeck, who ended up going to the Super Bowl that he got robbed. Should have won that one. They got robbed. But Matt Hasselbeck, playoff caliber team for a while. All those guys played behind Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you're from that system, it's like teams are going to take a chance on you because it's been proven that it works. And if if they want to pay you and retain you, that's a good thing. The other thing too, you might have a contract that makes you even more attractive because you have the backup money. And so Bears could trade you. Maybe they can get a 4th rounder for you. Maybe they can get a 5th rounder for you.
Or maybe you just sit and collect checks.
Chase Daniels.
Daniels. You know how much I looked it up. Chase Daniels started 5 games in his NFL career. Do you know what his career salary was?
Over 100, like 104
Career
million.
earnings.
No, not
Career
that, not
earnings.
that much. Career earnings
Career
was
earnings.
20. I think it was 28.9 million.
I thought it was more than that.
Well, he signed. He had at one point signed a deal worth 43, but he didn't collect all of
Oh,
it.
okay, I get you. But still,
But
for
still,
a guy
that's
who
a
played 5 games.
lot of damn money. Josh McCown,
Yeah,
I think career salary is around like 60 million for a Josh McCown. So
he played a
backup
lot though.
quarterback, yeah, he did. But backup quarterback, not a bad gig in the NFL,
No,
man.
no.
Not at all.
Especially with this type of offensive system, it's going to translate to other teams. And so that's another reason why you're going to be attractive because you come in and the learning curve won't be as steep as it might be if you're in a different kind of offensive system. So yeah, I mean, dude is in a good spot, man. He's in a good spot. Congratulations.
Absolutely. Let's look on. Cut day is coming up Tuesday. The Bears have to get from 90 down to 53. And then I think
It's tough.
with the practice squad, they go back to, I think it's 69, I think,
Okay.
with the practice. But let's just talk about the 53 right now. Um, are you keeping three quarterbacks?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they made a special thing. The NFL, I think it was last year or maybe the last 2 years, where you can keep three quarterbacks, and I think the third one doesn't work against your 50-man three roster or something like that.
Okay.
Some kind of special designation they did. I think this maybe the last 2 years. So yeah, the keeping three. Yeah, I think the Browns is more an issue. Where are they keeping
Are
four,
they
where
keeping
it's actually
four?
going to take a
Yeah.
roster spot?
Austin Reed is the Bears' fourth quarterback. Do you see him?
Practice squad.
Yeah,
Yeah, practice squad.
probably so. Running backs. Um, you probably think DeAndre Swift,
Well, definitely.
Rashawn Johnson.
Has he played? Is he what is his
I
deal?
think
Like,
he's been
They say he's
injured.
hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
so I mean, are the Bears going? They don't have to keep him. I mean, unless Poles is like, you got to keep this guy. I
Well,
mean, I don't.
he was a second round pick just 2 years
I
ago.
think they keep Roshan.
Yeah, you keep him.
That's a running back, bro.
I hear you there too. Um, Kyle Monungai, I was going to stay because he was the draft pick this year.
That's what I'm saying. And Britton Brown's done. Britton Brown looks as good. He looks like Roshan should probably look.
Um, what about Ian Wheeler?
I like him, but
He might be
he
practice
probably
squad.
practice squad. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because if they were going to keep him, I think you would have seen him on kickoff returns because he did that in college, and you can see him do it at all here.
well, he was doing it at Howard though, and
But what I'm saying,
that's
yeah,
not
but
that's not saying much.
what I'm saying is
That's
you're
a
trying to make the team.
that's a joke from the Hampton Pirate right here. Sorry, you guys clearly didn't get that. Went way over your heads. That's
It
all right.
did. It
Jesus,
did. Sorry.
man. Tried to give a little slight to Howard, and man, nobody caught it. That's all right. That's all
Yeah.
right.
Like him and Scott not being on kickoff returns, I think works against them a little bit.
Well, Scott, I think Scott was back there returning kicks Friday, muffed one with
Buffalo, you're talking about.
oh Buffalo, yeah. Which that's what caused the Bears to start at the 7 yard line and get the 93-yard drive.
Right. Yeah, but I haven't seen them
Um,
return a kickoff punt after that. That's kind of my thing. I've been seeing what's the guy number 13 was doing it. I can't remember. Or, yeah, number 13. I can't remember what his name is.
that's um,
Uh,
Alexander, Maurice
right.
Alexander.
Right.
Travis Homer is probably.
No. Goodbye.
You don't think he makes it? I think he's a special teams guy though.
Wow. Okay. Hey, I mean, look, Travis, if you're seeing this, which I'm sure you're not, I ain't trying to take money out your pocket, or, food out your mouth, anything like that. I just okay. He must be a hell of a special teams guy because he's not touching the field, catching the. Just as a running back, you hardly see him.
Yeah. But having those cover guys on special teams is pretty important.
It's important.
All right. Receivers. This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, that's probably the next deep. That's probably the deepest group now that the secondary is all banged up.
Clearly, Odunze plays.
DJ
DJ Moore. Uh,
Zacchaeus.
Zacchaeus is a weapon. Luther Burden was a draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
Then it gets interesting. Um, you got Duvernay. You got Alexander. Jade Walker showed up in the Chiefs game.
Jade Walker, every year there's that wide receiver that we all like that thinks should make the team that doesn't make the team. And he's playing a role. That is his role right there, unfortunately.
Tyler Scott.
I think he and Bajent. Here's the thing. Here's where having Bajent on the team might work for Scott because they seem to connect. They do seem to do a pretty good job. Even on that last drive, Scott had a couple of decent catches, and then the one touchdown pass in the corner he had against Buffalo. And Scott's looked good with Bajan out there. So that's the kind of thing where, you have some kind of, like say Caleb goes down. I'm not saying Scott replaces one of the main guys, but Scott comes in there maybe on a 4 wide receiver set or maybe on a third down or something where you need, his speed, and that could be a benefit, especially if, Bajan, they see that they can be like, we'll see how that connection works. But he's definitely on the bubble for sure.
I feel like at this point he should have solidified himself as a guy. I mean, this is year 3 here, and there was so much promise when he was drafted out of Cincinnati.
Sometimes you remember back in the day, especially us guys who did fantasy football, we'd always want to target that third-year receiver because that was the year that it has all seemed to coalesce and make sense, and they seem to have a breakout year. Sometimes it takes. I mean, the quarterback and receiver are two of the harder positions, especially on offense, just to not only to learn but to be able to, there's timing involved. There's trying to get your head knocked off. There's routes. There's option routes. It's a whole bunch of stuff, man. And sometimes it takes cats, some guys a little bit longer.
And to be fair to Scott, when it comes to expecting him to be that on the receiving side, each year we've added to that receiving core guys that clearly are going to be ahead of him. Like, I mean, year 1 it was just DJ Moore, right? We didn't, because his first year was Justin's last year, correct?
Right.
Yeah, but Mooney was still there, so you're still trying to.
Still had Darnell Mooney.
Right.
Then year 2, we got DJ. We signed Keenan Allen. We draft Rome Odunze. Like now we got Odunze, DJ, Luther Burden, and you bring in a pass catching tight end that, so it's like each year we've added to that to where he's continuously falling down.
Yeah.
Not only that, but this is the third offense he's had to learn.
And then
you're not getting the reps. So to your point, yeah, the other people coming in, they're getting whatever reps that he might get, and they're not using them. So, you don't use a dude for like 7-10 games, and you stick him out there in a crucial moment, and he drops the ball. It's like, well, dude, I mean, I know he's professional, but he ain't played like in 2.5 months. He's not getting the reps, and you put him in a crucial down. And you're like, motherfucker, drop the ball. It's just like you set this dude up to fail, and like you want to blame it all on him. Like y'all done messed up 49, 55 minutes of the game. Y'all bring him in with like 4 minutes left. They expect him to be like a freaking hero. That's not fair, bro. So yeah, to your point, he's kind of been, he's been in a bad, he hasn't been in the best situation to succeed. So this has been the most consistent, it seems like. And that's what I'm saying. Coaching makes a big difference, man.
Yeah, so this is going to be interesting to see how many they keep. Because usually six is usually the number. Yeah. That's gonna be an interesting bubble line there to see who makes it and who doesn't. Tight ends. Obviously, Colson Loveland makes it. Cole Kmet makes it.
Who's that dude that made the catch and went down the sidelines in the fourth quarter?
86.
86. That was his number, 86.
Yeah, 86 looked pretty good. 81 didn't look bad either at times. They might keep 4 because they don't really have a fullback.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So they might keep 4.
You got Durham Smythe, Stephen Carlson, Thomas Gordon, and Joel Wilson. Okay, I say they keep 4 there.
I don't know none of them names.
No.
What's the numbers?
O-line. This is another one here because you usually keep 8 or 9. All right.
Right.
As of right now, I'm assuming Braxton Jones has won the left tackle
No.
spot.
Yeah, looks like
Tooney's at left guard, Drew Dahlman's the center, Jonah Jackson at right guard, Darnell Wright at right tackle. Trapillo's gonna make it. Benedette is probably going to make it because you're probably that left tackle spot may not be that battle for that position may not be over yet.
He didn't look too good. They put him on the inside, Bennett, and he was getting a couple of those run plays. He was getting beat to the inside. That's never a good sign. But I think they put him at guard to see if he could do. And he wasn't looking too good at guard, so he might be practice squad. Amagaji, what about him? What do you think about him?
I've never been an Amagaji fan. I mean, it's only year 2, but I don't know.
He wasn't healthy most of last year. Hey, you're a tough taskmaster, man.
Know, man.
He's got long arms. He's athletic.
I don't know.
He can play inside, outside.
All right, here's an interesting Ryan Bates.
You need a backup center.
Bill
Murray.
Newman's going to make it.
Newman, you think so?
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a battle: Newman, Bill Murray, Doug Kramer.
Right. Well, Newman gets a nod because he was drafted by Ben Johnson. So.
Yeah. All right. So that's 9 there.
They might keep 9. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball. D line.
I don't think Zach makes it. I don't think Zach Pickens makes it.
Oh wow.
He had a good game against the first preseason game.
And
no, I'm just saying he had a good game. That's all. I'm not
okay, and that's fine.
Numbers wise, you might be right. On the inside, obviously Grady Jarrett makes it. Gervon Dexter makes it. Billings is going to make it. Shamar Turner's going to make it. He's the draft pick.
Right. That's 4.
That's 4. Then it's Chris Williams and Zach Pickens.
Chris Williams, don't wake me, I'm dreaming. Yeah, he might have a better singing career than he will as a Bear.
Great one hit, though. Great one hit.
Yes, great one hit.
Yes. Outside, excuse me, they call it edge now. It's defensive. Obviously, Sweat makes it. Adeyingbo makes it. Booker makes it. Did you by the way, did you guys see the Hard Knocks? The 3rd episode or last week's episode?
With the Bills?
Well, yeah, they featured their practice with the Bears.
Okay.
And Dawson, the Bills left tackle, talked to Booker and basically told him, dude, you're different than everybody else out here. You know, you're going to be great. And basically told him, if you need anything, ask me, let me know. And it was a real cool moment between those two. Now here's the interesting. You got Dominic Robinson. You got Daniel Hardy. And then what's the I forget the other guy's name. Defensive end. I should know this. We've been watching. Anyway,
we're talking. John Marie Chroma.
Well, that's another one. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, Chroma's there.
Not Noah
Uh,
Sewell.
no, not Sewell. No,
Noah's
Sewell's
a
a
linebacker.
linebacker.
Not Carlton. Xavier Carlton, is it?
Uh,
Tona.
Carlton and Tone. Yes, yes.
Well, I'll say this.
Capasignon. How do you pronounce his name?
Passing on, I think.
Pasadon. Yeah.
I'll say this because it's Dennis Allen and he likes long, big ends, the 6'7" to 72, 80 type. And that's basically Carlton and Passanon. I don't know if it looks good for Hardy. Or Chroma's got the weight, but not necessarily the length. Passanon's 31, so I don't know. Do you want to? Is there upside in keeping him, or do you want him as a veteran? Dominique, he always makes you go. And I don't know if this coaching staff has the patience to deal with.
Right.
So I don't know. That's a tough one. I'll say this: they may let them go, and then see about bringing somebody back. And then they may see who else is let go. And we don't know. I mean, hey, man, I'm not saying push come to shove, but stranger things have happened. I mean, you still got a certain somebody.
2018 happened.
Yeah. You got two guys that haven't signed yet.
Yeah, before week 1.
Right.
Khalil Mack showed up in a Bears uniform.
Right. So,
you know what? I don't know if I really want that this time though. And don't get me wrong. Getting a Trey Hendrickson or the kid in Dallas, Micah Parsons. Yeah. Getting one of those guys would be great. Preferably the Micah Parsons.
Right.
But the same thing that happened to Mitch happens now, where you're speeding up that clock because if you go get Micah Parsons, you gotta win now.
You have to win within a 3-year span.
I think if you go get that guy and the money that you're gonna have to commit to him, you got to go now.
And again, you got a 3-year span because you got both your rookies on a rookie deal still, and your wide receiver and your quarterback. You got to win in a 3-year span.
All right.
That's all I'm saying. I don't disagree with you.
2 year.
Well,
because if it don't show well with the quarterback, do they pick up the 5th year option?
Right.
It's gonna show well. They will, and yeah, I know what you're saying. 2 years, but a month ago I was like, it's too soon. Now I'm like, I don't know, man, because that dude Parsons I'm talking about, when he commits to a team, like he's a whole heart, mind, body, soul kind of guy. Like I feel like he's really hurt by this whole thing that's happening with the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. Like he's like, it's like if you're going to have to really pay me now if you want me to come back. Before you just had to pay me. Now you're going to have to really pay me. And if they don't really pay him, he'll play. But you're gonna feel like we let now. Jerry usually at some points acquiesces and pays a superstar, so it's probably not gonna happen like with the Raiders. But you never know. Everybody ain't the same person. The players ain't the same. In Chicago, Chicago would jump out, mess around, be 4-2, 5-2 or whatever, right before the trade deadline. Hey.
By the way, if you haven't checked it out, America's Team, the Gambler and his Cowboys.
Is it any good?
Very good.
Really?
Very good. Yeah.
I thought it was going to be too much, stroking.
No, it's good.
It's really good.
Is it done, or is it like still got weeks left, or is it all dropped?
No, it's all Netflix. Netflix puts everything out there. Yeah, 8 episodes. It's a quick. I mean, I watched it in 2 nights. Okay. It's a quick watch.
All right. It's. But y'all are probably Cowboy fans, though, aren't you?
No. I hate the Star. I
Jimmy
hate the Star, and
is
you come out hating the Star even more.
Okay, well then I need to watch it.
You
it
hate
was
the
funny.
Star even more, but it's
Jimmy turned into Michael Jordan with Jerry Krause, man.
yeah, they
That's
took
that
man.
that was
They talk about it all, man. So it starts.
it's good.
It starts when Jerry buys basically when he buys the team, and it takes you all the way to the end of the dynasty. And
Switzer winning.
yeah, you talk about Barry Switzer. He's
It
in it.
kind of brings you up to date, but
All the
like
main guys,
not with the not
yeah
views and not like that. The people that's talking is from the dynasty.
yeah
Okay.
they talk. Everybody needs to be talked to. They talk to.
Yeah.
They
Everybody's
talked to
still
Alvin.
around.
They talked to Alvin Harper.
They did not talk to Alvin
No.
Harper.
What? That's the only guy. That's the only guy that I was gonna be pulling for as a Cowboy.
But they did talk to one Coach Dave Wannstedt. He made it.
Yep,
Hey,
Coach was on
Jimmy,
there.
Jimmy had me out there. I told the guys come together as a team. I just, and I was talking to Jimmy, and he told me, this is what we're gonna do, and that's what we did.
Told some very good stories. Told
Yes.
some really good stories.
Coach is famous for stories.
Yes. So definitely check that out. Linebackers for the Bears. Obviously Tremaine Edmonds. Edwards makes it. Hippolyte is the draft pick. He's going to make it. I know Noah Sewell had a little bit of a day against the Chiefs, but I don't think that's going to matter. I think he makes it as an inside linebacker. Anyone else? Because I know Bozeman is already gone.
I think who was I looking at? I hate that I can't. Amen.
Oh yeah.
I think
A bomb. Damn. Obam Bamiga.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Agbagba
Agbamima.
Bamiga. Agbagba.
Amen. I like Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Yes.
Hey yo. Yeah, I think because of special teams, I think he'll make it. He's pretty decent linebacker. He's had some successes.
Linebacker, I think the Bears are strong. That's a strong position for the Bears. Cornerback, on the other hand, is going to be interesting.
Man, dude, he went from being a strength to I don't know what's going on. Zach Frazier, he's a draft pick, but he may end up on the. I don't know. He's got the length, but he hasn't, really played. Blackwell solid.
Wright's going to make it. Obviously, Stevenson makes it. Jalen Johnson obviously makes it. Kyler Gordon makes it.
Right.
Outside of that,
well, Trey Flowers.
That's 5.
Was getting kind of abused, but because Terrell Smith is gone, Flowers might still make the team, or Zah Frazier. But Zah Frazier might. See, it's the thing. Do you put 6'3", 185 on the practice squad? That corner with the speed and the height he has.
Not many 6'3" corners out there.
Right, with the speed and the vertical that he has, I don't know that I want to put him on a practice squad. So. But maybe they might have that one of those phantom injuries or whatever that he somehow or the other he remains on the team. But yeah, I think to your point, it's probably going to be probably 5 corners that make it, and then the rest of the guys will be the safeties. I don't think Sean Wade makes it. I don't think Nick Cloud makes it.
Safeties. Obviously, Brisker and Byard are your starters. Jonathan Owens is a special teams guy. Elijah Hicks is going to make it as special teams on a backup. I think those are your 4 safeties right there.
Yeah, Cook maybe. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, and then the kickers and punters just one of each, so those guys aren't going anywhere. Those are main.
And there's a long snapper battle.
Okay.
I guess you don't want to talk about that. No problem. We will move on.
So who do you want?
Shout out to the long snappers.
You want the 31-year-old guy or the guy that's a little bit younger?
Honestly, I don't know who our long snapper is. In fact, I don't know who our long snapper's been since Patrick Manley was there.
I know, right? I thought Patrick was still there. Felt like even though he was gone, it's like, yeah, he's gone, but he's probably dresses just for the game. You practice.
Oh man! All right. Uh, other NFL talk. Obviously, in our we've been doing this show for almost 5 years now.
Wow.
The Sanders family, Deion Sanders, has been a huge topic of conversation for us, and so now I moved. Let's talk some Shedeur Sanders. What's going on in Cleveland right now?
You know what, man? I'm loath to say you cut your nose off to spite your face. Like, why would you not want to put your players in the best chance to succeed when they can help you succeed? But then, and I'm listening to some of these pundits speak. Some of the pundits who've played in the NFL. Some of the pundits who probably know guys who are currently on the Browns team who they may have played with, or played against. So they have some kind of rapport. And I remember what Caps say everybody can see what they're doing. It didn't look good. They're saying ego, like Stefanski's ego is getting in the way. Like draft a quarterback who can do what I want him to do. Like okay, Baker wasn't really, I guess, doing things the way he wasn't running the offense the way Stefanski wanted it ran. So they get rid of him. It turns out that was a bad decision. Aside from being compromised fiscally, Baker's proven to be at least a playoff caliber quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So you bring back Flacco, who, let's not kid ourselves, how did it look the last time he was in Cleveland? The last game, he couldn't get out the way of anything. And he looked almost just as old, if not older, when he played with the Colts last year. So that's a short term. So you're not building anything around him. Pickett, I don't even know if he's seen the field in preseason. So, yeah, whatever. So now you're down to your third round draft pick and the kid out of Oregon. And, when you set him up to, quick passes and that kind of stuff, he's really good with that. But when you need to attack downfield, I don't know if he doesn't become a bit of a liability because of his size. And he's got a good arm, but not a great arm. It's not like you got what's my guy out in Arizona, number one,
Kyler Murray.
Yeah, dude, Kyler is an athletic freak. I mean, he's a little he ball shoots out his hands. He's a different kind of. Not to mention he's fast and get out the way. All those kind of things. I don't know that Dylan can do that from who's the third string out of Oregon. So then you look at Shedeur, and it's like, okay, when you put him with the guys that are more or less the ones that the top part of the group, either the starters or the guys who are really close to being starters, he looked really good. If he comes out with like the third unit, the guys who aren't even going to be on the team, and like, oh, you got sacked 5 times and you was holding on to the ball too long. Yeah, but were the receivers getting open? The guys who aren't going to be on anybody's NFL team, were they getting open? And then you have a 2-minute, you have the last drive where they take him out and they put in Tyler Hunt. I got nothing against Tyler Hunt. I think he's a fine backup. I think he's a solid quarterback as far as NFL goes. But so are you putting Shedeur in the practice squad? Because if you do, he's going to get snapped up. So you're not doing that. So why you don't think Shedeur gets snapped up?
I'm not saying he shouldn't. I mean,
I think
we did just go through a draft where nobody took him for 5 rounds for some reason.
Right, but I think after seeing him play, he's at least worthy of being snapped up off a practice squad. You're not paying him nothing. He's a 5th round draft pick. Not like you losing any money. You can set aside, a 1.2 million if it's even that much. But you have an opportunity. So Shedeur, the game doesn't mean anything. It's the last drive. Like, if you're going to put Huntley in, you should have put him in and not play Shedeur at all. So you're going to take him out in the last drive? What is that? Like, what are we doing here? What's going on? Like, I don't understand. I don't know whose ego or egos are getting in the way of one another. But it seems like it's less Shedeur's ego and everybody else's ego.
Right.
And it doesn't make any sense where the one game he played was probably the most highest viewed preseason game this season, and definitely the highest for the Browns. Like his jersey is outselling people who got drafted. They talk more about him than they do Cam Ward, who's the first pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you doing? Like I don't understand, man. I don't understand. Here, if you don't want him, let him play, build him up, and then trade him. You're cutting off even trade value to some degree. I don't know what the Browns are doing. They have despite themselves, they have a pretty decent roster. They just can't figure out what to do with the quarterback situation. So I don't know, man. It's a weird thing, dude. It's a weird thing. It's clearly it's not a meritocracy. That whatever they try to say about the NFL, it's not. It's definitely not 100% meritocracy. It's probably closer to 70-75%, and it's about 100% bull. And look, I'm not saying Shedeur is the greatest thing since sliced bread, but he ain't moldy bread. He ain't crap. No. I mean, the young man changed around 2 different colleges. Jackson State was a much better program once he got there than it was before he got there. Same thing with Colorado. He looked good playing with the Browns. He looked good most of training camp. He had one bad game and y'all like he's garbage, but you had to try and find reasons why you liked, Dylan Gabriel's game.
Wait, he had a bad game?
Who, Shedeur?
Yeah.
Yeah, last game.
Looked this yesterday. He looked bad.
Yeah,
he played yesterday. I didn't know he played yesterday.
Yeah.
3 for 6, 14 yards, and 5 sacks.
But it was with the Browns' third team.
Yeah, dude, it's like what? And then, it's like I'll say it was like under a 2-minute warning type of kind of situation to try and win the game. Let's see what he can do in a 2-minute situation. And you take that away, like, are you just not want to play him? I don't understand, dude. It's the most it's the most inane thing I've ever seen. It's like the young man's being punished for being a young man.
And to his credit, he hasn't said anything.
No,
he's been cool with it. So,
but the players, his teammates can see it.
Yeah,
players on the other teams can see it. Fans who are watching can see it. It's just people who hating on him because they don't like him are going to find every reason to, hate on him. And I'm not saying he's perfect. I may stretch it to me. He's a rookie. It's like, he's 5th round pick. That's what a 5th round pick looks like. I heard people say that, like, really, dude? Like, stop. You kidding me? Okay. But you know what? I hope somewhere along the way he finds the right coach, the right team, and makes everybody eat crow. I just want that for him, man. For him and do it for the family. Daddy been fighting cancer and had parts of his toes, feet cut off, all this stuff. Shiloh just got cut. Do it for the Sanders family, man.
Yeah, Shiloh thing. Oh man, you gotta be smarter than that. You can't throw a punch in a game.
Really?
You can't. Yeah, seriously. Really. Seriously. You on the bubble, dude. You can't do that. Well, obviously, yeah. I'm just saying, you can't do that.
It's football. How many times we see somebody throw a punch, man? You got one dude who's grabbing people by the Johnsons. He eventually got cut from the Raiders, but that's a whole different matter. I mean,
the thing is, though, Jim, you got to be somebody worth something,
right?
To be
right.
Doing it.
If you're on the bubble, you can't make mistakes like you can't make mental mistakes like that. You can't and expect to survive. You can't.
Shiloh ain't.
That goes back to Jimmy.
Shiloh don't get no sympathy from me.
Jimmy Johnson.
He's lucky he even got picked up.
Hey, Jimmy Johnson said, I treat players differently, Michael Irvin gets treated differently than, some guy on the end of the roster.
I get that.
Dude had asthma. Jimmy lost it.
Asthma my ass.
You gotta watch this documentary.
You better go over that other field with that asthma.
Wow. That's
man.
insane.
Hey man, you gotta watch
Hey,
this.
Jimmy was wild, man.
Dude's fighting for breath for life, and he's talking about yes, you
My
go
man,
die somewhere else.
my man was dying on the ground. I got asthma. Yeah, asthma my ass.
You go breathe somewhere else, or don't breathe somewhere else. Just don't do it here.
Oh man.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
go check that out. Yeah, this whole Shedeur this
It's
is
weird,
mind-boggling. And it's going back to the draft, man. I don't understand why he dropped to the fifth round in the first place. I would love to get what the reason behind that was. Was it collusion?
It has to be.
Was there word out there that said do not draft this guy?
I still wonder why though.
I don't. Yeah, that's what I don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
Like
perception,
like
man.
people like the league.
I know.
Dion. I'm like,
I don't know. Is that really true?
What's
I mean,
I thought they. Oh, I froze.
No, you're good.
I froze for a second. And I'm like, I thought the league. I didn't know Dion was hated around the league.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Like to where they'd do this to his son. Like, what is going on here? Why didn't they do it to goddamn Travis Hunter?
Well, he's not Dion.
But he's not. Yeah.
Not a Sanders.
Not his son, but
right.
Man,
yeah, that's
it's weird to me.
I really want to find out, the reason behind that. And then the fact that, if you're drafting this kid, why are you not, giving him a fair shot at this thing?
Because it's a fifth round pick. Most fifth round picks,
I don't.
They don't.
But we'll get the answers behind it soon. I'm sure we will.
This might be one of them Netflix. No, Netflix.
We might have
mystery.
We might have a Netflix documentary on our hands. No doubt about it. But it'll be interesting to see once Tuesday comes. Are they going to keep all four quarterbacks for the season?
They already got rid of
happens
Huntley.
done.
They already released Huntley.
Huntley, they did.
Yeah.
So why haven't played that last? That said he makes even less sense.
So
I saw that today. They released Huntley.
Well, why are you keeping Pickett? What has Pickett done?
I don't know. Now I think they said Pickett's had a decent camp, practice wise.
So has Shedeur.
I'm just saying.
Apparently, Dylan Gabriel did pretty good in front camp.
Everybody
keep 4 quarterbacks. It would be Kurt.
Yeah.
They still got Watson on payroll, don't they?
Yeah, he's still there.
Browns.
He's still there. No, he's not. He's not going to play this year. He had the torn Achilles, so he's out for the year. But yeah, should be interesting. Let's hold on. We said we're going to talk about the MLB alignment. Let's hold off. Let's hold it till next week, and we'll talk about that because that's almost earth shattering if they switch some things up. So we'll talk about that next week, and we'll have
college football.
We'll have college football, and then our preseason picks, our predictions for the season.
We can start gambling too.
That's right. So let's get ready for that, gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of you guys' weeks. That's going to do it for this week's edition of the Easy Smoke and the GM podcast. I want to thank everyone for listening. We greatly appreciate it. You can catch our podcast on Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, or wherever you find your favorite podcast. You can also catch us at YouTube. Go to YouTube and search for hp53productions.com. There you'll find all of our podcasts. And you'll also find the Super Duper podcast hosted by Rob Griggs. Yo, Glenn.
Yep.
Please take us out.
Hey, like we always say here on Easy Smoking the GM, we ain't saying we're right. We just know we're not the Cleveland Browns kind of wrong.
I hope we can beat Cleveland this year, man. We'll see about that in December. Maybe Shedeur will start that game. That'll be interesting. We'll catch you all next week.